We have an update on WWE and TNA interest in CM Punk. Plus, the AEW locker room are deflated by a recent star injury. And an injured WWE star is returning soon. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Been a hot minute since some Beppis boy news. CM Punk being talked about once again by WWE and TNA. Or rather, by one of them not talked about. Confused? You will be. Andrew Hodkinson has more.
Yeah, Fightful Select have an update and they say the internal line on CM Punk in WWE is not as of right now. Despite Punk now being the top free agent in wrestling and natural rumours swirling regarding his potential return to WWE, nobody after WWE Fastlane was asked about it at the post-show press conference. Why did I say it like that? In the event that they were...
Some frosted chocolate milkshakes.
In the event that they were asked, both Triple H and a number of superstars were prepared to answer, and some stars were prepped on it as well. Fightful Select was told that many in WWE were surprised that they weren't asked about Punk. Specifically, Triple H was expected to field questions about Punk that never got asked, and was planning on responding accordingly as well. When we asked, that was Fightful, when Fightful asked WWE higher-ups this past Monday if CM Punk to WWE, as of right now, it was still a firm no. They responded confirming as much.
So, I mean, the one thing that we've talked about with this is that it's not essentially shutting the door forever on CM Punk, but it's more a case of right now for WWE, business is booming. Mm-hmm. You know, Chicago is sold out. Yep. They don't necessarily need a CM Punk in their lives right now. Not to say that they never do, but they don't need him right now.
Yeah, and we've said it before, and we've spoken on this topic as well in terms of CM Punk and WWE. It's the world of professional wrestling, and you can just never say never, can you?
Yeah,
things change on a whim.
But what about TNA Wrestling, Impact Wrestling getting rebranded next year, so we're getting used to calling it TNA again. Scott D'Amore spoke to PW Mania and said it's not a secret, CM Punk was backstage the day after Bound for Glory, and he was a pleasure to have when he came around. So, is there a possibility he is here in the future? Well, you never know. Is there going to be a place for veteran talent and senior talent in TNA? Of course. The value can't be understated of good senior veteran talent right now with name recognition and drawability as well. The door is open. I think we're going to go out there and take some really great moves in 2024 and keep pushing forward. We're going to grow, and I think we're going to make some waves. So the idea, I think it was floated that CM Punk was offered some money to go and be a part of Bound for Glory, to which he went, that's very kind of you to offer. I won't, but I appreciate you offering. Like, it wasn't a diss. And as the conversation coming out of the UK tour still is, like, hey, look, the door's open. If we want to do business together with CM Punk, I think that there's at the opposite end of WWE with TNA Wrestling, as they will be known soon, there is room for someone like that to come in and increase the house and sell some tickets.
I agree, and with sort of like, I feel like there's a bit more of a boom as of late for Impact / TNA, even though, you know, it's been there for a little while, it's been bubbling, but I feel like now it's sort of coming to the forefront a little bit more, and with the whole rebrand back to TNA Wrestling, that has got a lot of people excited already. And then with the potential, you know, of someone coming in like a CM Punk with the name change as well, with the TNA Wrestling name change and stuff, that could really like start getting things going again for TNA proper, like really make them feel like a big deal.
CM Punk's last couple of years have been quite tumultuous at the best of times. So what better way to look at it than with a deep old dive into the AEW run of CM Punk in a long-form podcast series that we are calling Punkvember. I call it long-form. It's only 3 episodes, but as the man that's editing it, each episode's about 2.5 hours long at this, right? Episode now, Aidan Gibbons, our Cultaholic.com tribal editor-in-chief, essentially wrote a dissertation on the entire journey of CM Punk into AEW and out again. And we have dissected it and talked about it at great length as a 3-part podcast series that begins on Sunday. So you'll be able to listen to myself, Aidan Gibbons, and Fraser Porter talk about the journey to, the journey through, and the journey out of AEW for CM Punk. It's waiting for you on the podcast feed on Sunday. Sunday. You can check that one out. Massive love to Aidan Gibbons, who genuinely, outside of his regular work, has just written a dissertation on CM Punk.
Which is mental as well. Like, I was listening to it as well. Also, was just doing some work there because you dropped it in the chat and we were like, ooh,
sneaky preview.
It's genuinely very, very good and really interesting and funny as well.
We'll try and be funny sometimes.
You are very funny.
Sometimes we try and be, oh, you cheeky devil. With Punk out of the AEW locker room, there was hope that maybe there'd be some focus in there now. However, as the Wrestling Observer has told us today, the locker room is pretty deflated right now for one major reason.
Yeah, they say one top name there noted to us how deflating it was for Danielson to be hurt again because of how valuable he is, noting they knew he was hurt in the Andrade match, but everyone was hopeful it would be nothing serious. I don't know how Danielson is personally taking this because obviously this has to be frustrating, him just coming off that broken arm injury from Forbidden Door against Okada as well. Oh, it's got to be, it really is, especially in this moment now where he's like, this could potentially be my final sort of full year of wrestling before I start reining things back and spending more time with my kids and everything as well. It is a huge shame for the man.
And the unfortunate thing is, some reports are saying that the broken orbital bone that he got during the match with Andrade at Collision came from a collar and elbow tie-up.
Wow.
Like, of all the crazy things that it could have been, it is a tie-up. So some reports have said, and it just shows you, like, the AEW have been so stuck with injuries in the last couple of years, and you think of how those injuries came about. CM Punk had to relinquish the AEW title, or you know, they did the whole thing with an interim champion or whatever, because he jumped into the crowd and broke his ankle. Adam Cole, in the middle of the hottest storyline in AEW, jumped off the stage like something he'd do 100 times and just happened to cause an injury there. And again, with this, a very basic move that puts Bryan Danielson out of the picture for the rest of the year. It's just, it shows you how serious wrestling is.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And just, again, it's such a shame for AEW when they feel like they're sort of getting a bit more of a trajectory in terms of storyline stuff and fans really being excited to see what comes out of some of these storylines. And then, unfortunately, you know, we got Moxley who got injured as well with a concussion, but in the international title, that changing hands everywhere. As you say, Adam Cole too. Like, it's such a shame for a lot of these people who've also, some of them just come back from injury as well. Like recently, for them to come back, and then obviously it's devastating. It really is devastating.
It really, really is. Moving over to New Japan for this one, Zack Sabre Jr. in conversation officially with New Japan for their website was asked where he'd like to wrestle in the future, and he said Impact. I think Impact is one of the major promotions I haven't wrestled in yet. Alex Shelley is their world champion. We've never wrestled. Chris Sabin, I don't think we've wrestled. Josh Alexander as well. That'd be a great matchup for me.
Stop it.
Oh, you're teasing us with a Zack Sabre Jr. run in Impact.
I got shivers then.
Oh, because Josh Alexander's a wrestling unit. He's a wrestling machine.
Yeah.
The idea of those two going together would be just wonderful. Wonderful.
I can see this happening down the line as well. Do you? Especially like some more partnerships and getting some more like big names on there. Obviously, Ospreay recently too. I reckon some more people in there.
You can check out Will Ospreay in an Impact Wrestling ring tonight. Turning Point airs at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fight TV, Impact Plus, and on the Impact for Impact Insiders on the YouTube channel as well. Will Ospreay and Eddie Edwards, fantastic match.
Oh, I'm excited.
So that's tonight. Go check that out. And I'm ring announcers. So that's nice as well. Over the weekend, it's all about Crown Jewel. WWE off to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They're there now. They are ahead of the show. And we've already 9 pictures waiting for you on the channel. Predictions are waiting for you with this lovely boy and the taller lovely boy as well. And then you're both here for live reactions tomorrow, aren't you?
Yes, we're going to do the live reactions, youtube.com/cultaholic/live. All the proceeds, all donations are going to charity as well. We are raising money for the Human Rights Watch too. So if you can come along, if you can donate a little bit, then that would be delightful. Don't worry if you can't donate, just be there and have a nice time. That should start at 4 p.m. GMT. That is GMT.
Greenwich Mean Time.
Greenwich Mean Time. That will start for us here in the UK. So if you can translate that to your time, fantastic.
come by and say hi here at Cultaholic over the weekend. Now, one return that could be on the horizon for WWE is something that we've not seen, I think, since the summertime, possibly back soon. What are you talking about, Andrew?
Well, Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter says Liv Morgan is expected to return soon. And yeah, she's been out of action. She's been absent from action since July, which has been a very, very long time. I would be happy to see her back. Sabu.
Sabu, as we've called her in the office.
Yes.
Extreme Liv Morgan Sabu, as she became known. Yeah, it was a shoulder. It was a shoulder injury, I believe it was, that she suffered back in July.
Yeah, she was holding her arm in a sling. But I'd be really happy to see. I'd be happy to see her back. You know, there's obviously storyline stuff there with Rhea Ripley as well, and she's holding on to that Women's World Championship at the moment too. So maybe we could get something there, something between her and Raquel Rodriguez as well. Would be nice.
Now, while she's been off, she has said in an interview that she's been focusing on using food as fuel once again, and changing up her diet and eating more greens and trying to focus on getting a well-balanced diet. This was an interview for, I think, Health and Fitness magazine. So read into that what you will. I believe if she'd been interviewed for Amateur Chess Player, she'd have been said, I'd spent the last few weeks, moving the King of Hearts, moving the King across. I didn't say King of Hearts, that's
King of Hearts. That is a different thing altogether.
I spent all my time moving the horse in an L shape. That's her interview from Amateur Chess magazine, most definitely. So I look forward to seeing her back.
Yeah,
It'd be nice
too.
to see her back doing her thing again.
It would, absolutely.
Flipping well. It'd be nice to see you doing your thing as well. Whatever your thing is. I can see what one of you is doing. That's disgusting. While watching us, really, that's a weird peccadillo that I can't get into. We'll have more wrestling news for you throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you, bye.
You pervert.